You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel.
That's right, that's right, that's right, that's right.
Sunrise on the horizon. Sky is blue, no denying. News with Skyjack Morgan.
Bright and early new dawn. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. The Morning Sky Show starts now. Good morning, headlines. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Start your day just fine. Information for you, darling. With coffee in your cup, used to fill you right up. Cleansing weather on the go. Morning shows you need to know. Join us on this daily ride with your morning side by side. Catch the latest, feel the vibe.
Sky will keep you well supplied.
Good morning headlines with Skyjack Morgan.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show.
Information for you, darling.
Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Oh my goodness, it's the Morning Sky Show. I can't believe we made it another day. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate, the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. And I have proof right here. I have proof that I am the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. There it is. It says it right here. You see it? It says it right there. #1 news reaction show on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I think you're incredible, and I can't wait to get started today. Oh my God! Hey, St. Patrick's Day to you. I have a happy St. Patrick's Day to you, there, Jackie Boyle. Thank you so much. Can I get some green hearts of courage in the chat for Jackie Boyle right off the bat? Oh, Danny boy. I don't know how to play that song. Oh, Danny boy. I'm trying. Never had a single lesson. Thank you so much on my little stylophone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you're wearing green so you don't get pinched. I hope you're wearing green so nobody pinches ya. Don't get pinched today. I'm wearing a green tie. Don't pinch me, baby. Don't pinch me. Should I wear it on the channel? I'm going to go onto another channel. I'll be a guest on someone else's podcast today at 9 a.m. Pacific on Watching Humans podcast. I'm excited about it. Maybe I should wear the tie. We're going to talk about why politics is in everybody's business, why everything is even things that you didn't think were politics are politics. What do you know? Who do you know? What do you say? It's crazy. Green Hearts of Courage. Thank you so much. Yeah, Parallelish knows how to do it for sure. I'll put on green after I shower sometime today. Well, that's a good plan because you don't want to get pinched. Don't get pinched. Just don't get pinched. You know what I'm saying? Don't get arrested by the popo. Don't get pinched. I'm pouring myself some Death Wish coffee right now with my Yeti cup, so I know it's super duper hot. Yeah, it's got a green sticker on there. It's my avocado sticker. It says vegan, of course, on it. Thank you so much for joining. I don't know if you guys heard, but the thing that's on my mind right now, maybe it's a little silly to you. Maybe you think it's a little silly. Jackie Boyle, maybe you think this is a little silly. Jackie, I don't know. But I think, oh, it's your birthday, so I have to wear green. Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Way to go. I'm happy that it's your birthday. You know, I've been thinking about this thing. Have you guys seen this new dime piece? Look at this dime. So this is the 250th anniversary of the dime, and maybe you can't see it on your screen, but usually the eagle has 13 arrows and an olive branch. 13 arrows and an olive branch for the 13 original colonies. All bad luck, number 13. The 13 original colonies. And usually there's an olive branch in here, but they took out the olive branch and it says liberty over tyranny on there. Liberty over tyranny, no olive branch at all, which is funny because I think that this country has become more tyrannical than ever. And yet they've taken the olive branches out of the eagle. Now they're saying, oh, well, we took it out because back in the Revolutionary War, there wasn't time for peace. We didn't want peace. We needed to use war. And the arrows are a symbol of war and our ability to wield power. And, okay, that makes sense. And if you hear that, it's like, oh, that's a perfectly reasonable explanation for why they took the olive branches out of the eagle's hand, claw, whatever. And you think that makes sense, but the thing is, they scrapped all of the ideas for the coins. So it's a 250th anniversary of America, and they wanted to make new coins. And it was going to have stuff like the civil rights movement, stuff like, you know, this Constitution signing, I think. There was just, you know, stuff that makes America America, stuff that makes us, shows how we've progressed to be where we are today. And instead, all that was scrapped. No more Ruby Bridges or MLK. None of that stuff. That's too woke. We want war, Barbarella, war. So what we're doing instead is taking the olive branches out of the eagle and focusing on the Declaration of Independence, the Gettysburg Address, the Mayflower Compact. I think that's what the focus is. The quarter is going to have the Mayflower on it with men and women standing there arm in arm, or I don't know if they're touching each other. I haven't seen the design yet. I haven't seen I guess the quarter's out. I don't mess around with, I don't F with quarters, you know. I don't even pick up a quarter if I see it on the ground. That's how hardcore I am. I don't want that dirty money on me. I'm just joking. I would pick up a quarter. I'd pick up a penny. But they got the Mayflower on there, and the Mayflower, well, it's a little problematic too because they want us to focus on this like religious stuff as if liberty and the rule of law and the things that we appreciate in America was just kind of handed down to us by white people from England. And that's not the case. The Mayflower was important. The Mayflower Compact, which was basically saying we have the right to practice our creepy religion, and we also have the right to we got to work together, folks, and we're not going to be able to answer to the laws of England because the Plymouth Rock were not on English land. We got to figure this shit out. So they made up their own little rule. They say it's like a proto-constitution, the Mayflower Compact. I'm giving you a quick history lesson, I guess. I guess this is the point of these coins, to help you remember. But the problem there is, if you focus on that too much, you forget that liberty and equality and freedom are things that we fought for over and over and over and over again throughout American history. That's what actually gives us our culture, not mythologizing the Mayflower. The Mayflower, though important, isn't the most important thing. It's an important thing. So they're focusing on, like, you know, white people basically, and whatever, man. This maybe it's stupid for me to even be concerned. But it does bother me because, like, you're taking the olive branch out of the eagle's paw. The olive branch is a symbol of peace and has been since the Roman times, the olive branch. Usually on the dime, we have the olive branch, peace. We have the arrows, which is of the war. We have a torch for liberty. And then we have an oak for strength. Usually you see them on the back. You see the olive tree, the torch, and the oak. And then the arrows are actually only in the eagle's paw. So to take out the olive branch, to me, it makes it seem a little Third Reichy. It reminded me immediately of the flechas, of the Yugo y flechas from Franco's fascist Spain, which, by the way, Spain is in the news right now because they are helping out Cuba, a country that we're not supposed to be at war with, but one that I've said we're going to war with for the last year. I've been saying we're going to war with them, and they have had their entire electrical infrastructure collapse because of everything that's going on, they say. But I have a wary eye that maybe America has something to do with them losing all of their power. There's riots in the streets of Cuba, and the Spanish have agreed to go there and help them because of their special relationship in history. Interesting, right? Anyway, Las Flechas. Everyone knows about the El Yugo y las Flechas? No? Okay, thank you. Have you read a history book? Have you read a history book? I guess you haven't. Okay, you haven't read a history book. I got it. They should replace the eagle with this carts the overweight people drive around of Walmart. Maybe they should replace the eagle with Cartman from South Park. That would make more sense, Ben from Berlin. Just replace it with Cartman, because apparently that's what America wants to be. America wants to be Cartman now. America saw Cartman not as an embarrassing Caliban's mirror, but instead of some aspirational thing that we should all want to be like. We should all want to be like Cartman. America is like Cartman now. Yes, Trump likes this idea. Trump likes the idea of Cartman on the quarter. Put Cartman on the quarter. Perfect. Anyway, I guess thank you for sitting through my history lesson today. I'm glad that I was able to talk about the Mayflower Compact. That was fun. I'm glad I was able to talk about the Roosevelt dime. It's something that I think is important, but it looks like a lot of people don't. Most people do not think it's important. Most people are just going to not talk about the dime. I'm guaranteeing you probably won't hear about it very often, but I think it's very weird that we had all these designs for these coins, and Donald Trump and his creepy crew of miscreants decided to scrap all that equality bullshit and go for mythologizing the whites again. And you cannot develop a deep culture if you will not embrace your history. You can't embrace your history if you're too busy mythologizing the people who were in that historical context. You need to provide the historical context so that we can have something to gain from it, so that we can have something to learn from it, so we have something to something that to warn us and not repeat. It's not like the people of the Mayflower wanted religious freedom. They just wanted religious freedom for themselves because they were separatists from England. They wanted to practice their weird Puritanism. It was, and by the way, the early literature from the Mayflower, like Bradford, I forget, Bradford, I think. I know it's been a while since college. I had to read all that shit in college of early American literature. And man, they were so pissed that there were non-religious people on the boats, because the religious people, sure, they wanted to come, but they had to have all these workers and all of these guys to help them sail there. And those people wanted to be paid, but they landed in the wrong place. So they drank all the beer. They had all the good stuff, while the religious people had to do without. And so they mythologized that as well. They mythologized asceticism with the Puritans. Isn't that disgusting? Yeah, it is disgusting. America stopped Cuba's oil flow. The Irish rapper Kneecap is on ship for aiding them. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me that, but we already knew that. I said that from the very beginning, that when we stopped the flow of oil from Venezuela, it was about trying to screw over your friends over in Cuba. When we started this war with Iran, it was kind of about Cuba. It's always been about Cuba. The Secretary of State has never made a secret of the fact that Marco Rubio, wants Cuba. He wants to take over Cuba. He's always wanted it. It's been his dream. And now he'll have a chance, it looks like. Thanks for Donald Trump. You ever wonder why did Marco Rubio swallow his pride and bend over for Donald Trump? It's because Donald Trump promised him he could have Cuba. That's what happened. Warmonger. I always said he was a warmonger, but everyone from every magger on this show, every magger in my chat, and even Bill Maher, like, no, he hates war. He'll never do war. All he's done is war. Maggers love war, and they hate children. They go hand in hand, really.
He's got the easiest job of anybody in government.
Why is this guy, dude, listen to the way this guy talks. The easiest guy in all the government. God, you know, a lot of you probably don't remember what Donald Trump used to sound like, but watching this man rise to this lofty position and just deteriorate there like a rotten peach. He's like a peach rotting on the vine, and every time he falls off, we somehow magically stick him back on the tree. Every time Donald Trump falls off the tree, he's just like a rotten peach that we keep like a diseased. He's like a diseased, amputated limb that we keep grafting back onto our body, and just more gangrenous. We just have gangrene, this necrotic flesh, and we just keep sewing it on. He's like a foot, like a necrotic foot, and it keeps falling off, and we keep sewing it back on. It's just disgusting. It's rancid. It's filled with maggots. He's just an empty soul now, just an empty shell of a body just filled with worms, and the worms and their weird gesticulations constantly just this cavorting corpse, like Weekend at Bernie's Part 3 when they've got the voodoo and they got him to move and stuff. Oh, it's like people think Biden was Weekend at Bernie's. This is like Weekend at Bernie's Part 3 when the voodoo guys make him dance. Ugh.
And the Speaker of the House got the easiest job of anybody in government.
The easiest job in government. I mean, that poor lady right next to him. What's her name? Wiles, man. She's got the breast cancer. She's sticking it out, though. She says she's got the breast cancer. They're going to lob her tits off. She's an old lady. They're going to lob her tits off. And Donald Trump's like, keep working. If I can work, you can work. I mean, the guy's breathing like Jack Palance at the end of his life with lungs full of cancer. Donald Trump's lungs capacity are just like, he's got the lung capacity of a 3-year-old at this point. Just, hey, my ankles are swollen.
He's got a majority of 2. I don't like to say 1 because it varies, but between 1, 2, and 3. And I think you're the only man that's ever lived that's able to be very happy about it. In fact, when we get up to 3, every once in a while we get up to 3. Actually, for a period of time, we had it up to 4, and then we had a death.
What the hell is this guy doing? This is your president. We know the 2 and the 1 and the 2. Have you figured out what he's talking about yet, everybody? You're the only one, and he said the 2 and the 3 and the 4, and then somebody died, and then there was 3 little Indians. There were 3 little Indians, and then there were 4 little Indians. The Indians. Andrew Jackson's my favorite president.
We had one man who was very ill. It looked like he wasn't going to make it. I don't know. I won't mention his name. Should I? Do other people know his name? Do you want to mention it?
Do you want to mention his name? Do you want to mention his name? Who talks like this? Do you have a person in your family that talks like this? I do. He's got dementia. My father's in a dementia ward, in the memory ward. He's in a home. And when I visit him, all the people in the memory ward talk like Donald Trump. Well, some of them do. And they have these fits of anger. No, you don't know what you're talking about. No, you don't know what you're talking about. It's very sad. It's tragic because you can tell that all these people have lost their marbles. But when you see it on the national stage, Donald Trump has hardcore, full-blown dementia, and we're all just okay with it. I wasn't okay when Biden was slipping. Why are you okay when Trump is slipping? And he's not just slipping, he's just going all the way down. There's There's no such thing as a dementia ward. Tell that to my father. My father is literally in a memory ward at a home, and I call it the dementia ward because everyone in there has dementia, it seems. They call it the memory ward. But yeah, it's dementia ward. But yeah, I'm the idiot. You're an idiot if you're looking at Donald Trump, the 1, the 2, and the 3 little Indians, and you want to mention the last Indian's name? Hey, in the 50s we said Indians. That's why I still say Indians. My favorite president's Andrew Jackson. Don't forget that Donald Trump's favorite president is Andrew Jackson. Never forget that. Never forget the Trail of Tears.
You proud? Go ahead. Tell them the story.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. President. Congressman Neil Dunn of Florida had some real health challenges, and it was very serious, and had a pretty grim diagnosis. And I mentioned it to the president, and I said, Congressman Dunn is a real champion and a patriot because he's still coming to work. And if others got...
Mike Johnson talks like a dementia patient's son. Now the president, what he means to say is that he really just wants his food cut up and not touching the other food. Okay, he's very sensitive about that. All of a sudden, he wasn't like that when he was normal before the sickness overtook his brain, before the dementia overtook his brain and turned his gray matter into Swiss cheese. Nowadays, I'm really concerned about how he just wants his food just a very particular way. He wants you to cut it up in bite-sized pieces and put toothpicks in every piece so he doesn't have to use utensils. He's forgotten how to use utensils. He's forgotten what a fork is for. He doesn't understand. He sees a fork and he doesn't know the purpose of the utensil. And so now, can you just make sure that you could do that for Daddy? Big Daddy, he just wants his food chopped up in just a particular way. Doesn't want it touching. Don't let it touch the other food because Big Daddy, he gonna have a problem with that. He won't eat one bite if you don't let it do that. Ding dang do. Can I get a ding dang do in the chat? We got any channel members in the chat could give me a ding dang do? Can I get a ding dang do in the chat? A ding dang do.
This diagnosis, they would be apt to go home and retire. And
What was the diagnosis?
It was, I think it was a terminal diagnosis.
Sir, there's this thing called HIPAA in America. We're not supposed to talk about other people's diagnoses. It's literally against the law, sir. We're not supposed to disclose that as government officials to everybody what their diagnoses are. I mean, why are you asking me this while the cameras are on, sir? Ding dang do.
Diagnosis.
He would be dead by June.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay, that's it was grim. That's what I.
Did you hear? Look at this shit. You could hear the crowd go, oh. Okay, that wasn't public, and everyone's like, oh, ugh. Let's see.
I think it was a terminal diagnosis.
He would be dead by June.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay, that's it was grim. That's what I was going to say.
Look at him laugh. He was going to be dead by June. Oh my God. And you know that the crowd wasn't moaning at the fact of the man's grim diagnosis because they didn't groan until Mike Johnson says, well, that wasn't public. A ding-dang do, Mr. Trump, a ding-dang do. We weren't supposed to be saying that. Oh, dear. We just violated HIPAA rules. There's laws about doing this, sir. Are you involving me in another law breaking, sir? Haven't I been in enough crimes with you, sir? Says Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, I've been lassoed into so many crimes with this president. I don't know if I can weather another one. My career is shambles as it is. I can't even show my face back home in Louisiana. They're gonna about to scalp me down there. Ding dang do. Oh, ding dang dude. Andrew Jackson was down in Louisiana. He started his campaigns down there. And let me tell you, I do not want to get lassoed into another crime there, Mr. Trump. God dang do.
I don't think
with a heart problem, by the way. This was a heart problem.
All right, give us more. I don't even know who this guy is. Look how disappointed Mike Johnson is right here. He's just like, oh shit, man, this guy's gonna die on camera. Donald Trump is gonna die on camera. And how else would you expect him to go? Do you think Donald Trump's not gonna die on camera? We're all just waiting for it. We're all just like at the edge of our seat, like a horror movie. Like, how's he gonna go? Is he gonna die right here on camera? Yes. If we let him go another 2 years, almost 3 years, 2 years and 9 months, he's going on camera. You know it.
So the long story short, the president called him to encourage him and thank him, and they had a conversation, and the president mentioned in the course of the conversation, you know how to get my doctors involved, and they did, and within a number of hours, they...
Look how Donald Trump is even like looking at him, following every word, like... That's dementia, man. That's dementia. That's what they do. They're like really intently looking at you, trying to figure out who is this person? Why is he talking? Why am I here? Who am I? What do words mean? What are words? They forget, like Alzheimer's. That's what's so scary about it. It's not that you forget your car keys, it's that you forget what keys are. Like, that's the terrifying thing about it. And I think that's what Donald Trump's going through, man. He's just like, he's having fits. He's up there just like, they don't know. He's a loose cannon. He can't get away from the cameras. He loves the cameras. He loves it. It's like when I take my dad to Starbucks and they're like, what would you like, sir? And I'm like, he loves I don't know. He likes the refreshers, I guess. And like, does he like lemonade or does he like the other thing? And I go, I don't know. Dad, which one do you like? And he's like, refresher. He just wants the refresh. Just give him a fucking refresh. Well, does he want lemonade or what? I don't know. Just give him the god. He doesn't care. He's clearly not all here, lady. That's how they're treating Donald Trump now. They're like bringing him in front of the press, and they're like, "Sir, why did you say that Iran was about to bomb us?" I don't know much about it. I just don't know. Arnold Palmer's slong. It was all man. Like, this is the level that we're at right now. This is what we're doing. This is the goal now.
Took him to Walter Reed, emergency.
Oh, wait, I got this. The only time I see Trump smile is when he's talking about people dying. Well, parallelish. The only time Donald Trump smiles is when someone else... He loves the banana peel joke. He always has. If somebody slips and falls, that's Donald Trump's golden comedy right there. He loves that shit. He doesn't really understand most comedy. Like, have you heard about the guys that... I'm sure you've seen the Pete Davidson interview where he's talking about how he worked with Donald Trump on SNL, and the SNL, Donald Trump didn't get any of the jokes, and he couldn't read the jokes, and he didn't understand how jokes work. He barely could read, and he doesn't know how humor works. But he knows when he sees a car crash and it's on fire and people are burning alive, there's something funny there. He knows there's something funny there. If someone slips on a banana peel and falls on their ass, and especially if they crack their skull or break their coccyx, yeah, he's like all over that shit. He loves that shit. That's his favorite type of humor. The only type of humor. Hey, Speaker Sargon, thank you for supporting the channel. And thank you. Did you get my message on Venmo? Are you able to see when I message you back? I always message you back. Your live doesn't even pop up on my home screen when I open the YouTube app. You're so shadow banned. Why doesn't YT like Sky? Because Donald Trump has spent a lot of money with Google, and Google is actively suppressing content like mine. Content about critical thinking, content about questioning authority. They don't like that stuff. It's very difficult. That's why I have to rely on everyone who's watching right now to like and subscribe, and also share a short. You have to, because the algorithm is suppressing voices like mine. I never see anybody like me either. When I scroll on YouTube, I only see right-wing shit. Every once in a while, I'll see Ari the Mermaid or something like that, and I don't even know. I think she's just a Democrat, right? Anyway, I never see the anarchists or anything on YouTube. They suppress that content. That's right. What's dementia? Did you watch the previous president? What was that? Was that dementia? Yeah, maybe it was. I had a show back then too, and I criticized the last president and for all the people ignoring the fact that the guy is clearly not all there, especially after that presidential debate. I was embarrassed for the entire country when that happened. I did a whole show about it. Thank you for asking. Yeah, because you see, I'm independent. I'm not part of one of your cults. Both parties hate me and I hate them, which is probably why I'm suppressed. Yeah, true. Hard to find Skyjack Morgan. Ain't that something? Why is that? Why is that? You see, always the violent ones. What is it with you violent maggers? What a clown would love to see this fool get his ass kicked by a few Trumpsters. It will never happen because you're all cowards and I carry a gun. So no, I don't think so, Johnny. Johnny, sorry. Sorry, Johnny. Sorry, Johnny. 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 The stress was just too much for you to bear. I'm your Huckleberry, Johnny Ringo. Ringo. Johnny. The stress was just too much for you to bear.
Surgery. The man has a new lease on life. He acts like he's 30 years younger, and he walked into the conference meeting, and we thought we'd seen a ghost.
Just, because I don't want to have a terrible story about this, I did it for him first and for the vote second. But it was a close second, actually. But I did it for the vote second. All right?
There's Donald Trump saying that he only wanted that guy to live. The guy was about to die. He only wanted him to live and had all the doctors because he needed the votes. I don't care. I did it for him first, but the vote second, but the very close second.
Project 2025, actually, it never went away. If you thought that the Heritage Foundation, the group behind the radical governing blueprint known as Project 2025, was
could you imagine, this idea that we're going to have... we can't let this guy die. We need the votes. Well, sir, he's going to die unless he gets some really crazy medical attention. Send him to Walter Reed. I have better doctors than he does. They patched me up during COVID. They gave me that special medicine. And I'm totally normal now. Ever since I went to COVID land, I had to barely... I'm totally normal now. And I've had so much good time with the doctors. Have you seen this guy? The labored breath on Donald Trump. His lungs are clearly filling with fluid. The dude ain't okay.
Dismantling American democracy? Think again. Now they're turning their sights even more keenly on America's women. The same movement that drafted a plan to remake and undo much of the federal government has now unveiled a chilling new manifesto, one that is aimed at making it harder for women to work, harder for them to live independently, and easier to push them back into financial dependence.
Velshi's talking about something that I've been talking about for weeks, and I finally see somebody talking about it. I don't usually watch Velshi because I think he's kind of I don't know, there's something about him I don't like.
Or fathers.
Something about him I don't like. But, this whole trad wife thing that they're pushing on children now, trying to get them real young. It's all that all the apps are owned by Peter Thiel. The magazine is owned by Peter Thiel, the Trad Wife magazine. This whole thing is being pushed on women. People are it must be spontaneous. People are going back to traditional way of life. It's just completely spontaneous. No, there's nothing spontaneous about it. It's entirely manufactured. And this idea that women are going to be happy is kept as pets. Let's keep them as pets inside the four walls of their homes, and all they have to worry about are the kids. That's all they'll ever do is talk to kids and keep them really bored and never allowed to talk to anybody else. What do they call it? Naked, barefoot, and pregnant. That's what they want for their wives, as if that worked out before. In the 1940s and 50s, when people were coming back from the war and they really decided that they want to reinstate the male dominance culture, they decided they were going to keep women as pets. It didn't work out great. People got lobotomized. People were giving women Valium. They'd have their women go to shrinks, and then the shrinks would tell the husbands what the women were saying. I mean, it was dirty business. It didn't work out. Women were losing their minds, locked in cages. That's why they called it women's liberation. And then now you guys call it feminism, but I think they should have stuck with women's lib, because it ain't over. They're still trying to put women in cages.
This is not hyperbole, in the same way that Project 2025 wasn't hyperbole, though plenty of critics dismissed it as such, especially as Trump himself disingenuously disavowed it. 1 year into Trump's second term, groups tracking his administration say that roughly half of Project 2025 has already been implemented.
I like this. Better than having them out there as baddies. Why are you intimidated by baddies? If you want a baddie, get one. Sometimes it's nice to have a baddie. You know, I got a baddie. I think it's okay to have a baddie. Have a baddie. Women can do whatever they want. They're human beings. You could do whatever you want. That's the thing about life. You get to decide what kind of person you want to be. You decide that you want to control women. It's creepy, man. It's weird. It's weird. Oh, women's lib was to get more taxes, bro. I think that was one argument for sure. But that's always an argument about diversification and liberty in this country. We always have to make it some kind of financial argument for saying like, well, diversity actually creates more wealth for all of us. You always have to do that because everyone's like, well, what about me? What about the white man? And you got to be like, well, statistics also show that you'll make more money when you have a more diversified consumer base because they'll be buying more shit and more people have more money in the middle class and they'll actually end up making more money for you and you'll be able to have a more diversified workforce and be able to compete in the global marketplace a little bit better than corporations from other countries that have monocultural workforces. So diversification and diversity works out for you too financially. You always have to make that argument. It's impossible not to in America. It's kind of like going to war for humanitarian purposes. You can't just go to war for humanitarian purposes. You got to go to war for money. And then you justify it with humanitarian purposes, just like you go to war with Iran for oil, and then you tell everybody, but hey, those Iranians are happy that we're there. We're doing the right thing by them. You always got to do both. It's this thing in America. It's a tick that we have to overcome. Anyway, trad wives, it's all bullshit. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen just organically. That's why they got to get them young too. They got to get them real young.
Federal diversity and inclusion program.
Like because a 35-year-old isn't going to decide. You know what? Now that I've gone out and had drinks with friends and I have my own life and get to choose my own adventures every day and solve my own problems, I think what I want to do is be kept as a pet. Nobody wants to be kept as a pet. Maybe when you're a kid and you don't have experiences and the world seems scary to you, you want to be kept as a pet. So they're trying to get women to get married as early as 14 because, MAGA, they think 14-year-olds are marriage age. God damn it. MAGAs think that 14 is marriage age. Get them at 14. They don't know any better yet. They have never gone out and had drinks with friends without men chaperoning them and telling them what to do and how much to drink and who to talk to. They've never chosen their own adventures. Get them while they're young and then keep them like pets forever. Make sure they shit out as many kids as possible because Peter Thiel wants more babies. We need more young men for the war machine and we need more young girls for the Epstein machine, Trumpstein machine. It's disgusting. Stephelson, term limits for the Supreme Court. Well, shit, now you're speaking my language. I totally agree with you. Term limits for Supreme Court. I'm with it. No woman wants to be tried. No, but little girls do because they think of it like, oh, I'll be treated like royalty. I'll be treated like a little pet. And I just have to concentrate on the one thing that matters. Having babies. Donald Trump wants you to make those decisions at 14 years old because that's when he can buy and sell little girls. It's so hard to get your return on investment on little girls if you wait until they're 18. Then they start thinking for themselves. It's a pain in the ass. Embarrassing.
This is the moment chaos erupts in Daytona Beach, Florida. Hundreds of people running across the beach Saturday after what appeared to be gunshots ringing.
Oh, man, Daytona Beach. You ever been to Daytona? This is like, shoot. I was in Daytona a couple of years ago this time of year, and it's packed.
there were 0 gunshots on the beach because what they were doing was crushing a water bottle to make it sound like a gunshot to stampede the crowd.
The Volusia County Sheriff says it happened even with dozens of law enforcement officers in the crowd. Later adding at least one weekend shooting.
What? You had dozens of law enforcement officers and they didn't hinder crime? What do you mean? You mean the police don't prevent crime? You mean that if you add more police officers, it doesn't prevent crime? What are you saying here? You're telling me that there were dozens of police officers right there and crimes were still committed? Huh. I wonder why that keeps happening. It's almost as if police, that the function of police are only to take notes after crimes have already been committed, and that their presence in large events is largely ceremonial and just a wish, just a fart in the wind, hoping that would-be criminals or crimes of opportunity won't transpire with the presence of police officers. Let's just cross our fingers, hope to die, and stick a needles in our eyes because the police, they're here, folks. The police are here. Nothing could go wrong. Trust us, the police are here. Meanwhile, someone cracked a bottle and caused a stampede somehow in Florida.
It was also spring break related.
It tells you something. Like if you're in America and you hear a water bottle pop, if you're anywhere in the world and you hear a water bottle pop, it doesn't cause a stampede. But here in America, we're stampeding. We're straight up stampeding. You know why, right? Right? You know why? Okay, good.
And in Port Aransas, Texas, police say a 17-year-old shot and wounded 5 people on a beach late Saturday night.
No one's running from gunshots.
But in Miami Beach, Florida, an iconic party town has worked on a spring break rebrand in recent years. And it seems to be working. Police say this weekend arrests plummeted almost 21% year over year. The city's surging resources, more police, DUI and license plate checks, but also parking and getting towed are more expensive.
The strategy that we implemented was an all-hands.
It's almost like cops are only here to make money. Let me get this right. So the police presence is not preventing crime or stampedes, but they are charging you more money for parking tickets, speeding tickets, traffic violations. They're cranking up the price. It's almost as if the police are just a revenue generator for the state. Am I missing something? Are you all hearing the same thing I'm hearing? I hope I'm not alone on this.
On deck in a collective strategy involving not only the police department, but different city entities that made it very clear. We welcome you to our city, but if you decide to break the rules and break the law, you'll be dealt with accordingly.
You'll be dealt with accordingly. We're here to keep you safe. We can't do that. We're the police, but if you break any laws, you'll be dealt with accordingly. Fucking police, man.
Facing a new strategy to avoid scenes like this. Jesse Kirsch, NBC News, Miami Beach.
Man, that would have been crazy. That is scary, though, because, look, all the cameras pointing down. I was living in Las Vegas when the massacre happened, and, man, the town's never going to be the same. We'll never be the same. I'm never going to be the same. Every time I'm in a large crowd, I'm going to a concert at the end of, I'm going to a punk rock festival at the end of March, and I'm always worried because I'm like, is anybody going to be shooting? I'm always looking up, like, all right, it doesn't look like there's any great place to shoot us all. Okay, good. I mean, that's what I'm thinking about when I go to a punk concert or any concert, any place where there's a large group of people. I'm always like, shit, man, I hope nothing pops off. I'm starting to think of escape routes. That's what I'm thinking about, escape routes when I walk into a place. You know what I'm saying? That's your spectrum, laws and rules and snitches. I don't like snitches. That's right. Don't talk to cops, everybody. I can't do that. I want to do that MF Doom. Dun, 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 dun. That's what I'm trying to do. It's hard. Thank you. Never had a single lesson. All right, everybody, thank you for joining the show. My name is Skyjack Morgan. If you're just tuning in, illegitimate non-carborundum, don't let the bastards grind you down. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate, and this is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube, The Morning Sky. If you're nasty like Steve, please drop a penny in the pot, and you will have your name in lights right here on the channel. I haven't set up a Venmo for this stream, but I hope if you'd like to Venmo instead, so that YouTube doesn't take 30%, you can do that at Skyjack23. Skyjack23 is my Venmo. You could support independent media, even though the YouTube algorithm isn't friendly to me. I keep trucking along. I do a show every single day, and I hope that you'll join me for the next one. We're going to keep going. At 9 a.m., I'll be on the... Thanks, Guy. No, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Charlie Kirk was killed in a large crowd. Very good point, David Bork. Very good point. Very good point. I'm going to a concert, man. Looks like an Elon Musk lookalike this winter, and wow, I'm an idiot. Okay, yes, I am an idiot. Dem's dumb. Next time, pay for it. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thanks for being here. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Come on, rebels. Thank you to my Sky City Rebels for being here. We'll do the Sky City Rebels, the Afterglow, but it's going to be short today because I am going to be guest appearing on the Watching Humans channel on their podcast at 9 a.m. Pacific. That, if you're licking, that's W balls. No, that's an hour and 10 minutes from now. I'll be on that show. So thanks. Let's keep licking. It's a W, easy dick, and the jack off hour. I don't know. Everybody wants to hear that shit on W balls, on W balls, on W balls. Sorry, do you know what I'm talking about? Do we have any Snoop Dogg fans in the audience? Any Snoop Dogg fans in the audience?
Tonight, Cuba is in the dark. The entire electrical grid collapsing today as the country struggles with an energy crisis, leaving millions on the island without power. During this latest blackout, people have been spilling out to the streets here for hours. Fortunately, some cloud cover to keep them from this blistering heat. It's been 3 months since the drop of...
Man, Cuba always looks so cool. I always want to go to Cuba. Man, a bunch of my college friends went to Cuba, and I didn't go, and I always regretted it. I wanted to go to Cuba. I was like, nah, I'm good. I was living in the San Francisco Bay, and I loved every second. And once I was in the San Francisco Bay, I was like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. And every time people left, I was like, why are you leaving? Don't leave. And then I left, and I'm like, why did I leave? I should have never left. What did I do to myself? I'm so stupid.
Oil has reached the country. Highways are empty because there's no gas. Women are delivering babies in dark hospitals with no electricity. Conditions are deteriorating. I sat down exclusively with Deputy Prime Minister Oscar Perez Oliva Fraga, considered by many to be Cuba's economic czar. His
Man, that guy's huge.
plan to attract more foreign investors, including large companies from the United States.
This guy looks like the Cuban Ron Perlman. Look, doesn't this guy look like the Cuban Ron Perlman? He looks like he's going to star in Beauty and the Beast with Linda Hamilton. He looks like a young Ron Perlman. This guy looks like Hellboy without the makeup. This guy looks like he's going to beat the shit out of Ryan Gosling.
He says Cuba is open to having a fluid commercial relationship with U.S. companies, with Cubans residing in the United States and their descendants. This person tells me it would be a breath of fresh air. And while there are people in the United States who legally do business with Cuba, Washington's trade embargo restricts many companies from doing authorized business there. Today, President Trump was asked about taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba, I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I can do anything I want with it.
What a relationship would look like, though, remains to be seen, particularly since Congress has to vote, and many in Congress are skeptical.
I would ask and advise any Cuban that lives here or any Cuban in exile, please don't invest in Cuba. You're wasting your time.
Today, Cuban-American activists...
Don't invest in Cuba. You're wasting your time. America's about to bomb the shit out of it. I've been saying this for a year.
in Miami came together to send a message.
When they bomb Cuba... Just remember, your friend Skyjack was like, we're definitely going to go to Cuba. We're going to, Donald Trump's like, we could take it. We could do whatever we want. When he starts talking like that, you know he wants to kill Cubans.
If we don't have any change in political rights, if we don't have any political guarantees, there's no economic change that's possible.
Freedom is to be able to choose your destiny. It's about Cuban sovereignty, not about business.
And tonight, those Cubans plunged into darkness will come here along Havana's iconic seawall to not only cool off, but escape the reality of the situation. Hallie?
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay up.
It's about sovereignty, folks. It's not about killing Cubans. It's about sovereignty. Trust me, it's about sovereignty, of course. Cuba's like stepping back in time. Well, yeah, because we surrounded them with boats and told everyone not to trade with them, so they can't even get cars. That's why all their cars look all old and weird, because they haven't had any cars imported. They're not allowed to import new cars into Cuba. So that kind of makes it difficult, right? And they got to be a little, they got to have a little ingenuity. They got to be a little ingenious. They got to be figure out shit on their own because they've been on this island and America has embargoed them and took their land in the form of Guantanamo Bay. We've encouraged other countries to ostracize them. We don't let other countries trade with them. It's really nasty. We're like, oh, well, communism doesn't work. And Cuba, look at them. They're failing. It's like, well, yeah, you made sure that none of your friends could trade with them. Of course they're failing. You intentionally impoverished them. Like, it's not, it's so funny to be like, hey, look at that. Karate makes you shorter. Well, no, you cut that guy's legs off. Karate didn't make him shorter. You cut his legs off. No, karate stunts your growth. Trust me. You cut his legs off. I can see the man has got his legs cut off. Yeah, karate makes you shorter. That's every time you hear about people, communism doesn't work. Look at Cuba. You cut their legs off. What do you mean it doesn't work? It would have worked if you let them alone. You let them do their own thing. But damn. America truly is the great Satan. I mean, we own that, you know. It's just kind of like how like Neil Young said, I don't feel like Satan, but to them I am, and I try to forget it any way that I can. I'll just keep rocking in a free world. Yeah. Neil Young said it best. Man of the people. Says make America great. He's got pussies to grab and people to hate. Thanks. Thanks for joining, everybody. Can you define communism? Yes, I can. I can define communism. Thank you for asking. Thank you.
Overnight, a wave of drone and rocket attacks targeting the US Embassy in Baghdad. This new video capturing air defense shooting down a drone at the last moment. Fires seen burning. Iraqi officials describing this as the most intense assault since attacks began, involving at least 5 drones. This Baghdad hotel not far from the embassy also hit. The attacks...
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen bombs over Baghdad. It's been a long time since I've seen bombs over Baghdad. When was the last time you saw bombs over Baghdad? It's like 2008, I want to say. How's it been since 2008, man? Iraq, a country we just cannot stop involving in our wars. I mean, we put Saddam Hussein in power because he hated Iran. We kept that going for a long time, and then Saddam Hussein decided he didn't like us because we were fucking him in his ass. And so he decided he didn't want to play ball anymore, and he was going to take Kuwait. And we said, no, that's our oil. No, it's not. It's Kuwait's oil. Well, Saddam Hussein's like, no, that's our land. Kuwait doesn't exist. It's not a real country. That's ours. And so we killed all the Iraqis. And then 9/11 happened, and George W. Bush just decided to kill Iraqis just for funsies that time. It was weapons of mass destruction that no one ever saw, no one ever found, no one ever had any evidence of ever existing. But now we just killed them. We killed them for, I think we were there for 5 years actively, but we're still there. We still got lots of people there. We have an American embassy there, and it's got bombed. It got bombed this morning. What do you think about that?
Proof Iran is still able to inflict physical chaos across the region and economic chaos around the globe. President Trump is now criticizing US allies who've so far declined his request to send warships to protect oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz.
We can't be at every place to support a war which we didn't start it.
We will not be drawn into the wider war.
The UK not yet ruling out joining, but a European Union official saying there's no appetite for an operation now.
We don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them.
We don't need that. We don't need anybody. We don't need anybody. We're going to go it alone. Why do we need anybody's help? We're America. Don't you know? Don't you know we're America? We don't need anybody's help. We don't need anybody. We're America. We're the strongest.
The virtual shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz has sent gas prices in the US surging, up 79 cents from a month ago. And for only the second time ever, diesel prices now topping $5 per gallon, which will raise transportation costs for all sorts of consumer products, including groceries. Iran is letting a very small number of ships pass through the...
Groceries? I thought Donald Trump was going to keep us from having... Wait a second. I thought Donald Trump said our groceries are going to go down in price. They're going up again? And they've not gone down? The whole time he's been president? Holy shit, he's been president for, what, 15 months now? 15 months and the prices still haven't gone down and they've only gone up? Oh, man.
Strait, including some with ties to China. President Trump, meanwhile, is now looking to delay his upcoming visit to China as the war rages on. This morning, another tanker off the coast of...
Trump wants everyone's country. Well, he wants their resources because America believes that all the resources on planet Earth belongs to America. All of them belong to us. And if there are people there and nation states there, well, isn't that just inconvenient? It's kind of like how there were these people called the Native Americans. Some people called them Indians. And, well, Andrew Jackson, he found out there was gold under those Indians. Damn it. I know we signed treaties with all of them. The American government signed treaties with all of those Indians, but they discovered that there was gold under their feet. And so they had to get them off of that land. The Indians don't need that gold, do they? They don't need that oil. And so they moved the Indians. It was called the Trail of Tears. They just moved them. Thousands of people died. Andrew Jackson is Donald Trump's favorite president. Donald Trump has said it many times. There's a portrait of Andrew Jackson in the Oval Office. It's just unfortunate that people live on top of our gold and oil. Venezuela is the same thing. They don't care about the people living on top of the oil and gold. They just want the oil and gold. If people would just move out of the way and let us take our oil and gold out from underneath their feet, then it would be okay.
But Oman reportedly hit by a projectile, reportedly only minor damage suffered. We're also, though, watching this escalation in the other major front of this war in Lebanon. Over 1 million people there now have been displaced, according to local authorities, by the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. Over 900 people in Lebanon killed, and Israel saying that it will now launch a larger ground operation there, guys.
I want to ask you about
There
something
you go.
very interesting that you said twice.
More ground operations. No boots on the ground, right? Oh, I think you mean who would have taken America if we didn't? China or Russia? Well, actually, Russia was already here. Russia had Alaska, and all the way down to like part of California, Russia had a lot of America because they just had to come across the Bering Straits. They had to come the other way, really. You know, they came and they took a big chunk of America, if you think about it. So Russia was here, and the Spanish were here, and the Dutch were here, and the English were here, and so there wasn't just like we took America. Who would have taken it? That's not how it worked, right? A bunch of people were already here, and white people got together and decided that race matters more than anything, and certain things happened, and Revolutionary War was fought, and that's the kind of, I don't think there was any chance of China or Russia being able to maintain anything like that, especially since Russia was having all sorts of its own issues, France was having its own issues, and well, you know, the English, well, they had their own issues with France. France and England, they always had problems, so it was always kind of going to end up this way. I don't think China or Russia was going to have a problem with it. But honestly, what should have happened, I think is what you're asking, is we could have just, you know, learned to live with the people that were here, and we could have had a pretty cool time of it, I think. I think it could have been pretty cool. Like respect the people who are already here and figured it out, and had things like communal property still exist today. That'd be pretty rad, you know. Imagine how cool that would be. It could have been awesome, but it's kind of like that song, "This Could Be Yes, But You Playing." It's like that.
That you talked to another former president about the Iran threats. Was it George W. Bush?
No.
Was it Bill Clinton?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say. Because
Barack Obama?
a member of a party, they have Trump derangement syndrome, all, but it's somebody that happens to like me, and I like that person who's a smart person. But that person said, I wish I did it. Okay, but I don't want to get into, I don't want to get him into trouble. Maybe, hey, you know what? Yeah, I think you probably know. You know, it's interesting. And maybe he'd be proud. I could even ask him that. Would you like me to reveal your name to Peter at Fox? Well, at least you have high ratings. Your ratings are through the roof, Peter. Congrats.
Thank you for noticing.
Way to go, Pete. Your ratings are so good. Yeah. You're so nice.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
Okay, so that was nothing. Great job, Peter Ducey. I can see why your ratings are through the roof.
Your ratings are great, through the roof. And like the lying CNN and the failing New York Times. Yeah. Fox News is the best. I love you, Peter Ducey. I know you got great ratings because I'm watching all the ratings of all the news stations.
When did the president start thinking about ratings on the news stations? I mean, shouldn't he be reading briefings about Iran? But no, he's reading Nielsen ratings numbers. Is that what he's doing? He cares so much about Peter Doocy's ratings, but he doesn't care about dead little girls in Iran. He says he doesn't know about the dead little girls in Iran. He doesn't know about all those little girls that America killed in Iran. But he knows Peter Doocy's ratings because that's what's important to Donald Trump. Fox News ratings. Dead little girls, dead Americans. Fuck that.
Will the left go mad without Orange Man bad? According to Axios, remember him? Democrats are heading toward a post-Trump identity crisis. Quote, when Donald Trump is gone, they're not sure what they'll stand for. Top party strategists are warning they can't win back the White House in 2028 by coasting on voters' dissatisfaction with the president and MAGA. So it begs the question, who will Spartacus sashay against?
We need people that are going to stand up and fight for the Constitution and stay faithful to the oaths we swore.
Ooh, Cory Booker's losing weight. I think he's going to run for president. Would you vote for Cory Booker right now? Let me know in the chat. Let's do a quick, come on, chat. Would you vote? Forget about president. Would you vote for him in the primary? Do you want to see Cory Booker run? Let me know in the chat, please. Yes or no? Do you want to see Cory Booker run for president? No, I see no. Hell no. Never. You're a never, Booker. Never. No. Wow. He's all right, I guess. He's all right. No, you guys are saying no. Everyone says no. We got 2 no's. You can't vote twice. Who? Cory Booker. Cory Booker, he is the vegan senator from New Jersey. He's kind of an interesting guy, except he takes a lot of money from those Israelis, and he seems to talk like a guy who takes a lot of money from Israel. So he's kind of a deal breaker. I mean, it's sad because he talks. So, man, he's such a great storyteller, and he's a great politician, and he's done some very, very cool and interesting things with his life and his career. But he's on that Israel teat, man. I can't trust him. I don't trust him because the Israel teat. How do you guys feel about it? Everyone says no way, no. Okay. AIPAC. That's right. He's an AIPAC guy. Yeah, for sure. Poor Cory Booker. Everyone hates him, but he's losing weight for nothing then. You're saying that he's losing weight for nothing? You won't even vote for him in the primary? Gee whiz. Poor guy. Cory Booker could be the first black president.
Or not be complicit in a reckless, out-of-control presidency causing chaos abroad and rising costs at home.
This is clearly amateur hour at the Pentagon.
And what about him? Pete Buttigieg. He might run for president again. Would you vote for Pete Buttigieg in the primary? What about Pete Buttigieg? Anybody? Pete Buttigieg? Would you vote for Pete Buttigieg in the primary? First gay president? Huh? First gay president? Anybody? Oh, yes. You mean our money. Yeah. You mean our money. Well, hey, I completely agree with you on this. I've done lots of content about why the hell we can't afford. My neighbor has shingles and she can't get medical attention, but you get free medical care if you're in Israel. If she were just in Israel, she would get free medicine. It's kind of weird, right? And child care and also a child allowance. They get a child allowance. They get Kindergeld over there in Israel. All you got to do is have a baby and you get checks from the government until they turn 18. Pretty rad. The government helps you take care of your children in Israel, but not here in America. No, hell no. Okay, everyone's saying no again. No. Oh, we get a yes. I got a yes for Pete Buttigieg.
In the White House. And again, the price is being paid by all of us.
Donald Trump and Republicans have taken affirmative steps to make life more unaffordable for the American people.
Oh, what about that guy? Adam Schiff, I don't think he's going to try. But Hakeem Jeffries, what about him? I don't think so.
Push back on what the president's doing.
And how will the lefty base cope without the T in TDS? Wine creep, Jonathan.
How are you going to cope? Are you going to have a show, Gutfeld? I don't know. That's the thing, man. If your job is worshiping Donald Trump every day, how will you have a job when he's gone? He's going to worship J.D. Vance? I don't know. I feel like I've got more staying power because I'm just going to keep criticizing the government. If you like independent media, people who criticize the government, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share a short. Hype the stream. Hype a short. Hype a stream. Thank you. because the algorithm only will feed you red or blue. You can't get people who are against red and blue like me when red and blue both hate me. They suppress my content.
Jennifer Welch crashing out over Joe for not locking up more of MAGA when he had the chance.
Some comes down from Trump, right? Like they're killing people in Minnesota. Now he's bombing Iran. You know, just horrible. People are dying, horrible. And I'm like, I hate those guys. And then my brain goes to, God, Joe Biden does. He does so hard. Oh my God. Because Merrick Garland should prosecuted him.
Merrick Garland was slow and stupid.
Some of these trans women need to watch their language. We're okay with the transing. It's the words. So, Harold, the Dems have an SOB problem, the same old brand. They can't keep tracking
This sounds a lot like Fox News, doesn't
in
it?
the Trump mud into their house. How are they going to stop?
Look, I've said all along on the show that despite the turbulence that Republicans are facing over the last year, and we have to admit, I agree with you, Democrats have a branding problem. Democrats need to stop criticizing the war the way they're doing it, but you have to also admit the president's underwater on the economy, on healthcare.
That's because the Democrats are criticizing them. The Democrats got to stop criticizing him on the war because he's underwater on the healthcare and the and the other thing. That's because of the criticism, dumb shit.
He removed, I thought it was very interesting, the president removed the 30-day, or granted a 30-day removal of sanctions against the Russians, against Russian oil. If I were Democrat, I'd be calling on the president to give us a 6-month suspension of his tariffs because they're increasing prices on everything that everyday Americans are trying to afford. On education, Dana talks about it, has talked about it incessantly. We have to think about educating kids differently and more effectively in the country. And if I were Democrats, I'd offer these kind of plans on healthcare, a different kind of plan. If all we do is say that Trump is bad, 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 I just don't know if
That's not what they're doing. Oh my God. They're saying Trump, bad, 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 but also like freedom and democracy might be worth it. They're also saying Israel good. I mean, the Democrats, they're not just saying Trump, bad, bad, bad. They're saying, hey, we love Israel too. Can't we play? We want to be, and let's not criticize you too much on the war. They constantly do this. The Democrats are not criticizing Donald Trump sufficiently on the war. The Democrats, a war that is only, the approval rating on the war is 25% in America. Most Americans hate this war. And the Democrats are like, well, it's an unfortunate thing about that school. I mean, mistakes happen. If I were a Democrat, I'd be like, this motherfucker! Like, how can you allow a president to intentionally bomb a school and full of children, a school that had been there for 10 years, isn't some brand new school, in the first day of bombing, before the fog of war had descended, and yet nobody on the Democrats are talking about it. They're not even talking about it. I watch the news every day. I read the news every day. Nobody, no investigations, no Senate no hearings, nothing. One of the worst disasters, one of the worst massacres in American military history. A school full of innocent little girls intentionally bombed on the first day of our incursion, not excursion, morons, our incursion. And no one says anything. Democrats, they got to stop criticizing Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. Outdoor Adventure says, I'm a Trump supporter, but I can't stand hearing him say the price of everything is down and the cost of living is down when everything is higher than. Bro, how are you a Trump supporter? You don't have, just because you voted for him in November does not make you a supporter. Are you on the payroll? What do you mean you're a supporter? I've never heard anybody call themselves a supporter of any president after the election. You're only supposed to call yourself a supporter during the campaign. And then once your guy gets elected, he's supposed to work for you. He isn't. He's lying to you. If he's willing to lie to your face about shit like, hey, trust me, who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? Trust me. Yeah, the prices are down. Everyone could tell. Hey, the prices are down. Trust me. Yeah, trust me, your favorite politician. If he's gonna lie to you about that, what else do you think he's lying about? Shit that you could see with your own eyes, he's lying to you about. And you call yourself a Trump supporter? I understand that you voted for him. Look, man, and I'm not holding it against you. But if you are going to call yourself a Trump supporter in 2026, you've lost your mind. I think if you call yourself a Biden supporter in 21. People didn't call themselves Biden supporters. Nobody called themselves an Obama supporter in 2009 or a Bush supporter in 2003. Nobody calls themselves that until Trump, because they require your loyalty. They require your loyalty. That is a way to keep you away from critical thinking. And the first step of critical thinking is question authority. You must question authority. Mandate. Yeah, a mandate, a 1% mandate. They did not have a mandate. Give me a break. This guy, these fucking Democrats, they're no much. You know what? Democrats they're bad, but they're not as bad as this. At least the Democrats are like, well, yeah, prices. I mean, we got to do something about this affordability. What are you going to do about it? Well, we got ideas. Well, show us the fucking ideas. Let's do something. At least Kamala had some ideas. She talked about anti-price gouging laws. Anti-price gouging laws could go a long way in America. A federal anti-price gouging law. That's what Kamala Harris was promoting during her campaign. And now, but Donald Trump was promoting nothing. He's just going to promise you that he's going to lower grocery prices. Promise, trust me, bro. Like the trust me, bro party. That's what they should call MAGers. MAGers, trust me, bro party. Just trust me. Yeah, we're going to lower the price of everything. Really? How? I got concepts of plans. We're going to lower the price of healthcare and you're going to get a better healthcare. Really? Yeah, trust me, bro. None of those things have happened. And we're also not going to get in any wars. Really? No wars? No, not even one. We're not going to harm the hairs on any children's heads anywhere in the world. Really? Awesome. War. We get war. And also, the world's going to respect America again. Really? Yeah, we're going to eliminate USAID, the thing that we're respected for around the world. Oh, so we're not respected anymore. Everybody hates us and we're bombing people. Our children are dying. We're killing little girls overseas. Our prices are higher. The gas is higher. The groceries are higher. Everyone's poor. The food banks are overrun with people who can't afford groceries. Some of whom are government employees because they're not pulling paychecks because you couldn't negotiate with the people of the minority party in order to get the votes to pass a budget. So now we have a partially closed government. And you're breaking the TSA, so we're less safe than ever in the skies. And it's just a matter of time before there's a terrorist attack. But we have no way knowing if the terrorist attack is a false flag operation because we can't trust our government anymore. And it would be very likely for them to do a false flag operation at this point in order to justify the war that we're already perpetrating against the people of Iran, a conflict that we've been struggling to stay out of for the last 50 years, or just kind of paying other people to do it, like Saddam Hussein with the Scud missiles. Remember when we got Saddam Hussein to have Scud missiles and we told him to bomb Iran over and over again until they would stop? Remember that?
President Trump is endorsing a new warning from his FCC chairman aimed at broadcasters over their coverage of the president's war with Iran. FCC chair Brendan Carr threatened to revoke their licenses over the coverage, accusing the media of running what he called hoaxes and news distortions related to the war without evidence, saying, quote, "The law is clear. Broadcasters must operate in the public interest, and they will lose their licenses if they do not." To be clear, the FCC licenses broadcast stations, but not the networks. President Trump quickly backed Carr and falsely accused outlets of coordinating with the Iranian government to spread falsehoods, going so far.
Look at this guy. He's got more gold in his office than Saddam Hussein. He has the same interior decorator as Saddam Hussein.
As to say that outlets should be, quote, brought up on charges for treason for the dissemination of false information. Let's discuss with MS Now senior White House reporter Von Hilliard.
I don't need to talk to more. Look, the FCC chair, what's his name? Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr is making sure that you're not allowed to criticize the war in Iran, or else he's going to take away your broadcast license. This is just fascism 101. This is shit that Berlusconi did in Italy. This is shit that Mussolini did before him. It's shit that Putin did. It's authoritarianism, and it's disgusting, and it's anti-American values. We like the freedom of information. We like the freedom to say what we want and access the information we want. But Brendan Carr is trying to prevent you from even getting to anyone who will criticize the government. They're literally paying Google to suppress opinions. Yeah, and Franco. We talked about Franco earlier when we were talking about the new design of the dime in America, how they're getting rid of the olive branches but keeping the arrows. Franco did something similar where he took the las flechas, the arrows, and he put the yoke under them, like the power of the people united under the yoke, and they had that symbol of their fascist dictator. It's a little weird that the eagle now only has arrows but no olive branches. I guess we'll have to find out in 2027 if they put the olive branch back into the eagle's paw. They say this is only for this year. They changed all the designs that were supposed to be more inclusive, and now they're all pro-war designs. It's weird that fascists always put pro-war designs everywhere. What is it with you guys? What is it with you maggers? Why do you guys like war so much? What's up with that? Saddam's palaces were more tastefully done. Well, he did have the golden AK-47. That was pretty cool. Do you think Donald Trump has an AK-47? It's just a matter of time before Donald Trump has like an AK, or probably not an AK, right? It'll be like a bullpup, or it's some kind of American weapon, maybe that's gold plated. It's just a matter of time. We did have Elon Musk with that pimped out chainsaw. Remember that shit? I'm Doc Mega. Trust me, I will do all the good things with all of your information. I won't do anything wrong with all of your information. Trust me, I'm richest man in the world. Trust me. What kind of weapon do you think Donald Trump is going to plate with gold? A gold-plated M16. M16's a little old school, right? A little old school. Yeah. A little old school. Ooh, 799, it doesn't. Okay, well, that was because of the bird flu. The eggs. You guys are always talking about eggs because you're stupid. But eggs. Bird flu outbreaks. It goes up and down with the bird flu. Bird flu, more birds die. Prices go up. They gouge you because you hear about how there's a shortage, and so then they can gouge you with the prices. Those companies, by the way, tripled their profits that year when they raised those prices. Crazy, right? Anyway, because they just decided that you'll pay whatever they say you'll pay. Anyway, bird flu. You like it? You like bird flu? Great. I'm glad you're into it. This isn't Cuba, a country that has no electricity now. Why don't they have electricity?
Cubans ransacking the Communist Party headquarters on Saturday and making a bonfire with the office furniture there. Cubans are suffering from food.
They love that. They're making a bonfire. The office furniture.
And fuel shortages under the communist regime, and demonstrations are intensifying. Let's bring in Rosa Maria Paya. She's a Cuban human rights activist and found
a Cuban human rights activist. Yeah, so shortage of food and fuel in Cuba. Why? Because we're starving them out. We're trying to choke them out. That's kind of how the Americans do. We try to starve our neighbors. We've been doing this to Cuba for a very long time. Do you think it'll be the time that they'll just collapse, or going to collapse all on their own, or do you think America is going to go there and kill people? Or do you think America's already there? Do you think that we have troops in Guantanamo Bay? Do you think that Guantanamo Bay, which is a place that we own in Cuba somehow, do you think that that prison concentration camp down there, do you think they have troops down there too in Guantanamo? I wonder how you feel about Guantanamo Bay, maggers. No foreign wars, right? How do you feel about it? Cuba and Venezuela fucked up. Is that what you? Cuba and Venezuela fucked up? Why? Because they want to have do their own thing, and they're not giving America the golden oil. Isn't it funny? Why is it that if a country doesn't give America their minerals and oil, that's a problem? That we're pissed off about that. Why is that? How come? They fucked up? I don't think so. Venezuela fucked up. They didn't give us their oil and gold. What? That's their oil and gold. That's like, you know what? I'm going to go kill my neighbor because she didn't give me all her money. What? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah. Well, she owes it to me. That's my money over there. But she worked for that money. I don't care. It's my money.
travel headaches are growing more than a month into the partial government shutdown. Longer security lines are forming at airports nationwide as tens of thousands of TSA agents continue working without pay. The stalemate over funding for the Department of Homeland Security remains deadlocked in Washington. Democrats have proposed reopening some agencies, including TSA, in an effort to ease travel disruptions. But Republicans say that approach falls short. Stick with WUSA 9 as we continue to track the shutdown.
Well,
but here's the simple thing.
Here's the simple fact. In Project 2025, it outlines how they want to break the TSA, bust the union on the first day, which they did. There's no more unions with the TSA. It's troubling. It's illegal as well, but, we got bigger fish to free, I guess. So they're busted the unions. They want to break the TSA. It's right there, black and white in the Project 2025, that they want to destroy the TSA so that they can privatize it and give it to their oligarch buddies, so that if in the chaos that ensues after you take down an organization like the TSA, what will happen is everybody will have to decide, who are we going to pay to do our airport security? How are we going to maintain this? The airports can't do it themselves, so they'll have to hire rich companies. They'll have to have billionaires companies in order to do it. And then you've successfully privatized something, a network that the American taxpayer paid for, and you're just going to hand it over to an oligarch. Classic shit, man. And it's in Project 2025. I'm not making anything up. I'm not putting a tinfoil cap on. It's in the fucking 2025, Project 2025 by the Heritage Foundation. You can look it up yourself, how they want to break up the TSA. Google it. And now everyone's like, oh, why is the TSA? How come there's all these lines? Because they're intentionally breaking it. And also, authoritarians always want it to be more difficult for you to travel. I mean, shit. My girl, she's going to Mexico pretty soon, and they made her pay $180, I think, in order to buy passage. Just extra money to cross borders, just border crossing money. And that wasn't like that before. I used to just be able to walk across a border anytime I wanted as an American. I've been all over the world. You won't be able to go all over the world because MAGers wanted to vote for a pedophile. So now that we have a Chomo as president, you won't be able to go to Poland or any of the places I've been. You can never live in Japan. I've lived in Germany, Japan, England. You won't be able to you're not even allowed to do any of that anymore. The whole world hates us. When I was doing that, people kind of liked Americans, kind of, sort of, most of the time. I mean, it got a little hairy when we started bombing Iraq, but most of the time people liked us.
I have, some people, I don't want wars. I want wars less than almost anybody. Peace through strength. But you know what? I've watched Iran for a long time. I called them out 20 years ago when I was a civilian that liked watching the world. And the violent, vicious people, the leadership, violent, vicious people.
Violent,
they killed
vicious
32,000
people.
protesters over the last 3 weeks. They put out a memo 2 days ago saying if you protest.
I love it when Donald Trump says he blames they killed protesters. Sounds like America. We kill protesters. I mean, don't you remember that Greg Bovino? Greg Bovino, they say he's going to retire. He's finally going to retire. He's here in California, and he's going to retire. But remember when he was saying, kill them all, shoot them with pepper spray, shoot them with pepper balls, shoot that priest in the head. Okay, we're using less than lethal rounds now and permanently maiming protesters. Does that make us better? Does that make America better because we permanently disfigure our protesters rather than kill them? Because we've permanently disfigured over 2,000 easily. But Donald Trump thinks that he's got the moral high ground because in Iran they killed their protesters. I'm not defending Iran, but I mean, look in the fucking mirror, Donald. Donald is an evil dictator who kills protesters. He's the one who gave the order to shoot protesters in the legs. Yeah, he did that.
We will shoot you and kill you in the streets. And somebody said, oh, there's not that many protests. Well, first of all, there are bombs going off all over the place. But even if there weren't, who's going to do that? Who's going to do it? They don't have any guns, and the other ones have latest in line machine gun, right? And
look how JD's there, man. JD, they're prepping him. JD, you ready to be president? You ready to get in there, boy? Put me in, boss. Put me in, boss.
Every form of gun you can have. They shoot them right through the middle of the head. They're violent people. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would use it. And sometimes I'll have some of the people that, feel very strongly, like I do about wars. And I say, do you think Iran is violent and do you think their people are violent?
Yes, leadership. Do you think they should have a nuclear weapon?
Do you think America is violent, and do you think the people are violent? Yes. Do you think America should have a nuclear weapon? No. The world is afraid of America because we are the only country to drop a nuclear weapon. Nobody else has dropped one. Like, I love how America's like, they're violent! You know that we're the only country to have dropped a nuclear weapon, right? It's just us. We are alone in that club. We're in a special club of one nation who actually dropped a bomb. 2 bombs! Double tap, am I right, Pete? Pete Hegseth with the double tap, am I right? God bless America. We bombed them. We dehumanized the Japanese to make it okay. Don't worry, we dehumanized them, right? We called them all sorts of names, drew pictures of them with buck teeth and bottle lens glasses. I mean, we did all sorts of horrible things to make sure that we put a bunch of Japanese people in concentration camps. And then we dropped 2 nuclear weapons on them. Double tap. But the Iranians, they're violent. They're so violent. So violent.
Which is massive power. I don't even want to discuss how powerful because it's depressing. And they said, no, they shouldn't have. Definitely they shouldn't have. They said, and you don't want to fight war. No.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're nasty, hit that like button. If you love anarchism and critical thinking, please hit that subscribe button.
We don't want to fight war. So these are naive people that frankly are stupid. If you believe that Iran...
Everybody's stupid. Iran is violent.
...should have a nuclear weapon, there's something wrong with you. Because they would use it within... The only question is within 1 hour if they get it or 1 day.
If Iran had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. Sir. Only one country in the history of the world has ever used a nuclear weapon. Was it Iran? No, sir. It was... United States of America. I always love this. We got to keep other countries from getting the nuclear weapons because they might use them.
They will use it, and they will blow up the entire Middle East, not just Israel. They'll start with Israel, but they will blow up. And you got to see that when they unexpectedly started sending missiles to every country within 1,000 miles of them. I mean, they're...
With a after we bombed the shit out of them. We knew that was going to happen. Everybody knew that was going to happen. We've known that since I was a little boy, that if we bomb Iran, they would bomb all of our friends in the Middle East. We always knew that. We're lucky Russia's not bombing. We're lucky Russia's not involved. We're lucky Russia's busy with the Ukraine. We're lucky Russia is busy with the Ukraine right now.
Blowing up countries that were neighbors, not necessarily some friends. They actually were blowing up some friends. They were blowing up the people that handle their accounts. They're sending thousands of missiles into countries that didn't expect to be in the war because they wanted to take over the Middle East. And if I didn't terminate Barack Hussein Obama's horrible Iran nuclear deal.
What? Their land was stolen from them? Resources stolen? We tried to help them get some money for their... Are you talking about Iran? We installed the Shah in 1953 in order to make sure that the money didn't go to the people of the region who lived on top of the oil. We made sure that the money from the oil went to New York and London. And then when the people got fed up with that and they were pissed because they had an evil dictator that America was supporting, well, they had a little revolution. That revolution, well, they called this the Ayatollah. They had a religious revolution because it was a thing that they can all get under the same flag with, you know, and so they did it. And the whole promise of the Ayatollah and the president of Iran, the first one in 1979, was that we are going to make sure that America and UK, that they don't get any more of our oil. We're not going to do anything. We're going to make money ourselves. We're going to get a new deal for the people. It didn't really quite work out that way because of Russia and America for all sorts of reasons. But that was the promise. So really, the original sin was the Shah. Guess who put the Shah in power? The Anglo-American Consortium for Oil. They called it what the hell did they call their oil company back then? They called it like... Oh, man, it was called something like the Anglo-Iranian Oil Companies or something. Anglo-Iranian Oil... Oh, man. But it's basically British Petroleum, basically. BP, basically.
Which I did in my first term. One of the dumbest deals, perhaps the dumbest deal, because of the danger involved. You would have had them have a nuclear weapon 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. They would have used it, blown up the Middle East, and they would have then come after us.
And if these gorgeous B-2 bombers, give me that bomber, Andrew. Let me just hug that
They're
little
gorgeous. I want to hug. I want to hump that plane.
Immediately, which one? This looks small, but in person it's very big. Because it's the only
Donald Trump's used to saying that.
In person, it's really much bigger than it looks here.
plane capable of carrying a 200,000-pound bomb. So I don't know how to do it because it's very sleek and nice, but it carries a lot of weapons and there's a lot of bombs.
A lot of weapons. I'm so
Had
excited.
I not sent this incredible machine times numerous others to hit Iran at midnight with no moon, dead dark. Every single bomb was dropped right down the chute that it was supposed to hit. How they do it, who knows? Nobody else can figure it out.
We know it's incredibly accurate, which makes me think that when you bombed that school full of little girls, it was intentional. You keep bragging about how accurate all these bombs are, right down the chimney, right up people's butts. You can launch a missile. You can do it with no moon. Even he said, no moon, Donnie. How does modern warfare work? No moon. I thought that you needed a moon to bomb people. Donald Trump. Wow, he's just giving us all sorts of information. No moon? You're telling me that we could bomb countries at night with no moon?
No other country can do it. No other country has our military or even close. And I think we've probably proven that with Venezuela and now with because we have done a number in Iran. But if I didn't do that, if I didn't decimate, I call it their nuclear dust, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 1 month after that bombing took place. And they would have used it on first Israel and then the Middle East.
Yeah, he keeps on saying, everyone would use a weapon, but us, no one's allowed to have a nuclear weapon but the United States. United States is the only country to ever use a nuke, and yet we're totally terrified of any other country having a nuke because they're the violent ones. It really is hilarious. It's like the bully is so afraid of everybody else ever standing up to him. Maybe they need nukes. Maybe I should be pro-nuke in Iran because I guarantee you we wouldn't be at war right now if they had a nuke. America would have left them alone. Maybe we should be promoting nuclear weapons for everybody. Maybe we should all just have them. Have them because America can't stop bombing people. Not for any other country. Basically, America will bomb any country that doesn't have nukes. We do it again and again and again. The history books are very clear on this. We don't bomb countries that have nukes. We bomb their friends. So like with the Cold War, we never had a war with Russia, Soviet Union. We only had wars with the friends of Russia. And Russia only had wars with the friends of us. We made weird friends like the Mujahideen and the Taliban. We made friends like that because the Russians were trying to take Afghanistan. And we funded their enemies, which eventually became our enemies. What do you know? Or like Saddam Hussein, because Russia was backing Iran and we decided that we wanted to back the opposite. So we funded Iraq. And they eventually became our enemies as well when we stabbed them in the backs. But we would never bomb a country with nukes. Don't forget, we found Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. There's a reason why we never went to war with Pakistan. We went to war with Afghanistan, but never Pakistan. And it's because Pakistan has nukes. Never one bomb dropped. Never went to war with Pakistan. But we used Osama bin Laden as an excuse to go to Afghanistan for 20 years because they were hiding him. He wasn't even there. Anyway, my name is Skyjack Morgan, independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate. I hope that you will join me for the Morning Sky tomorrow. But right now, the Afterglow starts for the channel members. If you're a Skyjack City Rebel, Sky City Rebel, please join me for the Afterglow. It starts right now. And at 9 o'clock, in about 20 minutes, I'll be live on the Watching Humans channel. Thank you so much. And Israel has nukes, but they won't admit it. Israel has nukes, but they say they don't. It's weird, right? We'll never bomb. No one's allowed to bomb Israel. Can't bomb Israel. Can't do that. Israel's not violent, right? Israel's not violent. They're allowed to have nukes. Any of the peaceful countries are allowed to have nukes. Like, Israel. Israel never hurt nobody. Let's give them some nukes. England's got a clean history, a very clean slate. They never did nothing to nobody. England's allowed to have nukes. They never did anything violent to anybody. Soviet Union, the Russians, they're allowed to have nukes. They never did nothing to nobody. China, they never did nothing to nobody. Give them some nukes. Yeah. All of those guys are allowed to have nukes. I hope you have a beautiful day. Illegitimate non-carbonatum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Please like and subscribe. Godspeed.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.